the awesome Fuji Speedway. I'm Phil, and as always, co-commentating with me is James.
Good evening, everyone. Good to be back in the director's seat as such, and another cracking race to look forward to.
I certainly, hopefully, it won't be apparent to those that watched the stream last time, but hopefully the director mode will give us a true representative of what's happening. Apparently it changed a couple of names around. I mean, the action was still fantastic, so I mean, we'll commentate with what we can see on the screen, and we'll catch as much of the action as we can, but hopefully it'll truly represent which drivers are doing what out on track as well. But yeah, so at the moment, just watching Oxo. A lot of Ferraris in the last race. It looks like everyone seems to bent towards the Audi now. There's a lot of Audis out on track as well. But yeah, it's, we'll see if different cars are suited to different tracks tonight. There's another Ferrari out on there as well. But Oxo is going for the Audi R8.
Yeah, I think we've got a few wannabe Jake Dennis's in the house tonight.
Yeah, me personally, I absolutely love the R8 on this car. Saying that, there's commentator Curse, and Oxo just gets the back end, but it needs to get those heat in those tyres. There's NGR Dawn, who recently on Facebook won a play seat competition to win a copy of F1 2017, so congratulations to him. But he's chosen the 488 there as well, which we can't deny is a stunning looking GT3 motor. I mean, it's
Nothing
definitely
NGR Dan.
Yeah, it's Dawn. It's Dawn. I don't know how to pronounce his surname, but yeah, Dawn is his first name. But very, very long. Oh, there he's losing slightly the back end coming out on him there as well. But I mean, this Fuji track, nice long straights, nice sweeping long corners. It's definitely a nice track for GT3 cars. But I mean, out of the ones that you've driven in the game, James, I have a feeling which way you're going to say, but which car do you feel is suited to this track?
Well, to be honest, I'm not familiar with the track, but if I was pushed to jump into a car and race around here tonight, it would be the Ferrari. But I still also would like, I think, the M6, if we may see one or two of them out on the track tonight. That's a really, really good car. I've had a few goes in that. And I also like the Lambo, but I don't think we'll see many of them, maybe one or two at best, but we'll see.
No, I mean, in my personal opinion, I was expecting a lot more power from the Lambo. Maybe it's just I haven't given it enough time, but compared to some of the others, it does seem slightly underpowered compared to what I thought it was going to be. I think it's just because of the name Lamborghini. You expect pure power, but it just seems a little bit underpowered. I mean, the Ferrari, I was expecting out of the box a great car, and I think that's delivered. The M6 surprised me. The R8 really surprised me. The R8, I think, looking at it, I mean, I've had a couple of races in it. It's managed to keep up with the Ferrari, so we'll see that tonight if it is a possible Ferrari killer. The Renault RS01, not seeing any of them in the track tonight, but I went in that the other night. Actually got 7 gears. I wasn't aware that GT3 cars had 7 gears. I didn't even mean to. I flipped up by mistake on the thing, not even expecting 7 gears, and found out that it did, so it was a pleasant surprise.
The car went, surprise, surprise, and it turned into Silver Black. But yeah, definitely, and I was driving the Lambo at Laguna Seca, just taking it out for a few laps around there, and yeah, I agree totally with what you say. It did seem to, basically, out of the box default setup, it did seem to be a few seconds down what I remember being able to go around Laguna Seca in the Z4 or M3, for example. So, but maybe it's one of them where if you dial in the tuning setup, you can get some good pace from it. But we'll see what transpires as such. But I think definitely the Ferrari is the most popular out of the box.
Yeah, so I mean, again, tonight's race, just because it's just a test event as such. And Amigo, catching it there, just keeping the car going. It is just a stock tune league, so it's just out of the box what comes with the game in the tuning. So it could be like you say there, the Lambo, it has got good potential. It's one of them you just need to tune slightly to unleash its full power. Maybe it's the ratio set up to sort of slow it down, but it's one of them, is that it's the game's not long been out, so people have got to play around, and people will find the favourite car and in the end get used to it. And maybe the Ferrari is just one of them that it's so easy to drive that people are just getting used to it, and it's not really found a competitor yet because there hasn't really been really any competitive as such races. Perhaps, I mean, I don't know, maybe that's just me thinking out loud and thinking wrong, but maybe I'm onto something there.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, as we the new season, season 10 for next gen approaches, you know, our drivers are going to have to sort of decide on which car they are going to be running for the season. So I'd imagine there's going to be a hell of a lot of testing going on behind the scenes, and we'll soon find out. You know, everyone will have their sort of car style that they can get the best out of. So come the actual season itself, I think there's not going to be too much difference between the cars out on track.
Yeah, certainly. And tuning, you know, that does bring out a slightly different element there. That does separate drivers on there as well. You know, you can the race engineer in this is a nice little touch. At least it gives you an idea of what to do to the car, and you know, those people that aren't really that well inclined of what you know, what dampers does and stuff like that. At least it gives you an idea of where to put it, and at least then it gives you an idea of when you change something, you know what to do. I think I saw a slight glimpse just there coming around the corner, just behind later. It was a Renault RS01. So nice variation of tracks on there tonight, but we're on board at the moment with Lee W07 in the Audi R8. Oh, cooks it a little bit too much there. Just takes a little bit of the grass, slows down, lets the traffic go past. So on board now with
Pro Fubby and Pro Gav. So we'll go with Pro Fubby. He's a very fast driver, as we know.
And he's chosen the Porsche GT3 tonight. I think he's chosen the standard GT3 version, not the endurance version. I mean, no difference in power, just slight difference in the looks. But this is a very nice car to drive, you know, especially if you're coming onto Project Cars 2, you want to learn the game and stuff like that. But what I've found, especially the difference from Project Cars 1, is you can now pick up the faster cars and have a little drive around. Yeah. It's not one of them that you have to spend a lot of time tweaking things. All you do is change the force feedback to if you want heavy wheel or loose wheel, and off you go. I think the stock setups in a lot of the cars, especially GT3, are really good. You can tell some of the cars have had a lot more work putting on the others, but you know, I think it's the cars that they feel that probably most people are going to use.
Yeah, I think for the previous version, the you know, the original, there was a lot of cars that you know, people just didn't want to go near because they were that much of a handful or that unstable, or you know, and that took away the enjoyment. You know, there are casual gamers out there, or even casual sim racers who, you know, don't want to have to be spending hours on end tweaking the setup just to be able to drive the thing around the track and get through a corner. But this one is definitely more forgiving. But you know, in that respect, it's brought a lot more sort of classes and different car types into the equation for people to use and run sort of seasons and leagues on. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so I mean, developers these days, you're going to bring a game out, you're going to get people that either love it or people that hate it, or people just say, yeah, it's all right. You're never going to get and please everyone. Me personally, I think they've done a good job. Yes, it has got a few bugs in the game, needs to be ironed out, but still nothing that's stopping me enjoying the online side of things. I'm not really a single player person. I prefer coming online with my friends, getting some cars on a track, and you know, having a good night in that respect. So for me personally, if you're watching this and you're like, I still don't know whether to buy Project Cars 2, if you want to join a group like Next Gen, you know, come over and join it with us, have some races like this, you know, you're guaranteed to have a good laugh. If you're more of a hardcore sim and you think, I don't know if I want to be swayed away from other games like Assetto Corsa on the PlayStation 4, some people say yes, it's not as hardcore, which it probably isn't. It's not as hardcore as Assetto, but it's, in my opinion, more enjoyable and more fun, and that's what racing games should be. So yeah, I mean, that's my personal opinion on it. So on to what's happening on the track at the moment there. So we've got some times coming through. So Pro Fubby, we're on board with at the moment, he's in first. Yep. 2 seconds ahead of the competition at the moment. So Get Carter, who's in the Audi tonight there as well, he's currently running in third. And we've got Amiga, who's in the Ferrari, who's currently running second. So Porsche, Ferrari, Audi, that's your top three at this moment in time. Those Audis do look stunning.
They are. I mean, I'd say most of the cars in this look really, really good. I know that a lot of work's gone into sort of giving the cars individual personalities, so that's definitely something that they worked on and something that they've hit the nail on the head, I think, this time round. And sort of like enjoy flicking through the liveries and just seeing which one sort of is glorious enough or not for you to run.
I think
side action there.
I think what we'll see a lot on this track as well is we'll see a lot of people using the car in front as a tow. That, you know, long sweeping corners, but then we get onto the long straight and it is a huge home straight on this track. You'll definitely see people, you know, using the advantage of the car in front as the tow. So definitely, I think this is going to be one of those tracks where I don't think the RD is going to be as dominant as we've seen in previous races that we've hosted here at NXTGEN. So we see these two Audi. Oh, a little bit of a touch there. So, I mean, remember, lads, this is qualifying.
Yeah, I think they're racing already.
So we'll see one of the Audis in the dirt there as well.
Yeah. We've got a Ferrari just behind, or is that the... Yeah, it looks like a Ferrari, that.
So NGR car getting nice lines through the track there as well. Sweeps the car round. The Audi in front of him really wants to try and keep up with him, so he could really get the benefit. There you go, not too far behind, may be able to get some benefit. It might be a little bit too much distance just in between them to get any benefit from a tow from him in front. But we'll just see just how long this home straight is now. Is he going in for the pits now?
Looks that way.
There we see Ben Sully now choosing the McLaren.
We have a McLaren. There we are. But yeah, this track, I mean, obviously famous in its history. 1976 season finale in the Formula One. In the rain and the famous office battle between Nicky Lauda and James Hunt.
Yeah, it's a track. It's a track that's been, you know, welcomed with open arms when Project Cars 2 announced that it's going to be in the track list. So it's, you know, it's really enjoyable track to drive. As we said, you know, very well suited to cars like the GT3 and the faster cars as well. I might have to give some GTO cars a go round and get that Ferrari F40. Here we see Ben Sully. So currently running 13th, fully improved. Sticks in 13th at the moment there as well. That McLaren, tricky car to drive. Back end does like to get out on you as well, so you've got to be very gentle with the throttle. Get your turning exact on it as well. See it there, sort of slightly biting back at him as he comes around the corner. Lines up, so we've still got Pro Fubby out in first as well.
Great mix of corners at this track, and some really technical ones where you're almost bringing the car round, banking it at nearly 180. Or not far off, you know, the hairpins or the tight corners, but really again have to sort of be thinking maybe one or two turns ahead going through the corner that you're actually in, because you've got to then think about shifting the weight and getting the car rotating, turning in.
Yeah, Ben Sully,
especially with the McLaren, we know how difficult that can be.
Yeah, Ben Sully now approaching this, you know, this really technical part of the track. There we go, very tight corner in there, get it lined up and power down now. You really use as much as the curbs as you can, use as much as the track as you're allowed to. And then another tricky part. As we just watch that McLaren drive around.
I suppose it's a bit of a relief. You come out of this sector here, down the long straight, and you just get to sort of open the car up, let it sort of sing in that respect.
Gives you a little bit of breathing time just to focus again and think about the corners. It is a very easy track to learn in that respect. It's not a difficult track. The likes of like Bathurst or something like that. Still in 13th at the moment.
Yeah.
Now we have at the moment. I mean, on my screen here, I haven't got Ben Sully putting in a time.
It has come up on mine as a 1:45.5.
Oh, sorry, no, yeah, he's moved up to 7th there. Sorry, so yeah, it was just a little bit late, sort of coming through on the top screen. So yeah, I mean, we've got some of the cars on my screen. I've got from 9th down to 14th. Not saying they've put in a time. As we know from the last race and speaking to people in the lobby afterwards, people were putting in time, so it just could be a bit of a game bug. So we won't take too much into that this time, but we'll continue action. So Tin Man 0403 using the Lamborghini at the moment. It's on the Black Pan livery there as well. Nice red and black livery there. Oh, gets his entry wrong into this section of the track. It's got his lights blaring. But I mean, in ninth, it says he's in ninth at the moment. It's not put a time in. We'll see if that changes on this lap here. But you can see there, even from first to eighth, there's only 5 seconds in it, which, you know, in qualifying, it's not that much really. Sort of different sort of, we haven't, you know, tonight's drivers is a mix of class in next gen. Anything from sort of pro to amateur in there as well. But again, the driving standards will be as good as the last race. I'm just looking forward to. Oh, there's Leo Frick. It looks like, what car is that? That's the NSX there. I thought that was the RS01 before and I saw it, but as we described,
sort of middle centre looks like it's the Audi.
As we described last week, the aquatic looking, most looking of the cars.
Yes. Got fins or gills.
So coming down the straight, will he be able to put a lap time in now? So you could go and make a cup of tea and come back by the time you get down the back of this home, the full length of this home straight. It's so big. So still hasn't put a lap time in.
Get on the radio to the pits. So I'm just starting on the straight. Make us a brew. I'll nip in and then. Oh dear.
Oh, losing it on the grass there. That's unfortunately not going to help his lap time. So I'm with Pro Jatski now as well. Says still to put a lap time in. That's Pro Fubby there in the Porsche. Looks like he's got a bit of front damage on. I don't think damage is turned on tonight again. Just for the aesthetics of it. It'll just change the look, but shouldn't affect the performance.
Yeah, I think we've just got it on visual only, haven't we? So does look like it's been in the wars.
So saying or both. Pro Jatski says there still to put in a time. Could be correct. Oh, catches there's it. Ferrari bites against him as he tries to get round the corner. And that is definitely one improvement that you will see in this game. You'll see cars fighting it a lot more. Unfortunately, there's the key. He's gone back into the pits there, Pro Jatski. So unfortunately, wasn't happy with his lap. So I'm with
just current Fubby up ahead.
Current leader, Pro Fubby, in that rather battered-looking Porsche. So I wonder where he had his off moment. Looks like he's had
we definitely didn't see it.
Looks like he's had quite a big front impact there. That's quite crushed in at the front. I'm pretty sure damage is turned off tonight.
Yeah, we're talking that's almost Sebastian Vettel at the end of a race on the warm down lap.
Yeah, that's
probably one of the sense of irony. If you were watching it, I mean, it actually come up there. It had the sort of title at the bottom of the broadcast, as voted by the fans, driver of the day, because he come from the back of the grid.
As he drove around just with two wheels.
Driver of the day, Sebastian Vettel, and his rear is like.
I think that'll be. I mean, you'll probably see that in years to come in like the 10 greatest videos. It'll be like the 10 WTF moments in motorsport of 2017. It was a little bit crazy to see, really, especially when it happened during the race. It's cool down is called cool down for a reason, not break your opponent's car down.
I think Vettel will probably start in a multitude of those videos. If it's a best of 10, then he'll probably be in about 7 of them. One of them would definitely be when he decided to drive up alongside Hamilton and hit him.
We'll probably cause controversy by bringing that up. You'll have people saying this and people saying that, and I think that's the good thing about motorsport is you'll get your fans and you get your people on either side, but at the end of the day, I think you can all laugh at it. I mean, me and you have been to Alton Park to watch touring cars a lot of the time. You'll have your Subaru fans, your BMW fans, your Plato fans, you know, our fans of drivers, fans of manufacturers there as well. I think maybe F1 is slightly more serious in terms of the fan base. It was just on board with Amiga now. He's still in second, just under 2 seconds. Pro FUJI running really well. He's making it difficult for Amiga to catch up at the moment. It's 2 second gap. That's quite a good gap to have. Pro FUJI, one of our pro NGR races there as well. One of the faster guys in the group. Amiga is definitely no slouch. But on the faster tracks,
you mentioned there about sort of fan support, and we saw that in the weekend as well in the touring cars. As we saw race 2 with Colin Turkington and his sort of rush with Aidan Moffat's behind. With what happened at Silverstone with Ash Sutton for his move at the we were expecting to see a similar sort of penalty, places reversed or something like that, but I think the fact that the penalty was not similar it set it off really across social media, and we had sort of both sides of the camps defending, one defending Sutton, one defending Turkington, but in the end I think the deserved driver across the season won, considering where he came from after the first weekend. He had no points on the board, and the problems seen by the other Subarus, that he was able to sort of coax the best out of that through the season was an outstanding performance.
Yeah, and I mean, not forgetting that's Ashley Sutton's second season in touring cars. He's a young lad, and to compete with the likes of Colin Turkington, and Colin, I'm a big fan of Colin Turkington, but to see Colin Turkington sort of get that in that zone where he's pushing, he was going fast and stuff like that. I don't think no driver is intentionally going to drive into the back of someone's car, because one, it could cause severe damage on your car, which he couldn't have for the weekend anyway. You don't want to put anyone's life at risk. He's an experienced enough driver to know that that's not what to do anyway. It's a spare the moment thing. I think he's gone too fast. He's obviously on a mission there as well. But for Ashley Sutton to bring that out of Colin Turkington, that shows what a driver Ashley Sutton is, to be honest. And like you say, with the torments that he had at the start of the season in that Subaru, credit to him. But yeah, I hope if he is ever watching, well done, Ashley. Congratulations on the win. Massive round of applause from the NXTGEN group for you for that. But back on with the racing, we are here tonight in the NXTGEN at GT3 at Fuji event. Pro FUJI still leading the way. Amiga here that we're watching go around the track, unfortunately not able to shave any more time off. We coming up this home straight now, see if we'll be able to knock any more time off. As we wait with bated breath. Don't hold a breath though, it is a massively long straight. You might go blue.
Turn blue.
And he's still not able to knock. Oh, he has knocked a little bit of time off there, so slightly decreased it, but 100 of a second is about a width of a number plate. And he's lost it there, maybe pushing it a bit too hard. Brakes to let the other traffic get past. NGR Kart is still in third. Projatsky, which is, I believe, Projatsky is the son of Pro FUJI. Running well in fourth. We've got Scringy GMC, who's chosen the Audi as well, running well in fifth.
That's an expensive hobby. I mean, I don't know if they live together or if he's flew the nest, but I take it there's two decent sim rig setups going on there. Or you're just going to make me cry and say they're using pads, but
I'm pretty sure that the pro guys aren't on pads, but yeah, expensive hobby, but it's definitely one, if you're considering, you're watching the race, you go, oh, you know what, I'd like to give that a go. Get into it pretty cheap, to be fair. Like, you can obviously spend the big money and get a rig and everything, but all you really need is, especially this game, is a pad just to get into the start of it. And then, Thrustmaster wheels, pretty cheap. You can get a T80. I'd advise getting the T150 though. Start from there. Attach it to, all you need is a desk or something like that to clamp it to. Stick the wheels, down. You can stick them on with blue tack, to be fair, on the floor, stop them sliding around. But it's not an expensive hobby to get into, but it can become expensive, obviously, depending on what you put into it. You want, you can upgrade wheels and stuff like that. So Yeah, it's, you
I
know,
mean, that's how we got there, wasn't it? We sort of I went for the T100, then you invited me round to give your T300 a shot, and I'll never forget taking that Formula A car up a route at Spa, and that was it then. So it was on to the T150 for me before going up to the T300 and then adding the T3PA pedals with the conical mod. That revolutionised things for me, and then I got the shifted as well, all from Thrustmaster. So certainly, the equipment there that I use, I absolutely adore it, and I just love the sort of immersion that it brings. But some people, we must say other sim racing products are available, but that's a great entry point if you're looking.
yeah, so all of us at NXTGEN will definitely recommend Thrustmaster products. Thrustmaster, obviously one of our sponsors as well, but before they were sponsors, we'd recommend them anyway because they're just for the price point and for the feeling you get. The T300, it's a stable wheel. A lot of PC users will use T300 as well, not just on the PlayStation 4. But yeah, fantastic wheel. Just mentioning as well, we've mentioned before, would like to see one. So the Les has chosen the M6 tonight as well. One of my favourite looking GT3 cars. I actually went in the Z4 as well the other week. Obviously, one of the cars that's carried over from Project Cars 1. It's a nice car, but that M6, it's just, I don't know. I'm also like,
bit dated, the Z4, isn't it? I mean,
I think it's obviously it's been used on a lot of games as well. People lots used to see it. The M6 is the new car in the BMW GT stable. I'm a touring car man at heart. It's just got that touring car look about it as well. So I'm not taking anything away from the Z4, but the M6 is just to me a bit of a nice car. So taking it slow around those corners there. This is the technical part of the track.
139 and a 140 posted at the top, so we'll just stick with the Les at the moment. I think he has run wide and probably discounted his time. But
mentioning there as well, we've got another pro in third place. If we just see who's in third place there as well. So Projatski, as I say in there, Projatski, son of Pro FUJI, both running well. So at the moment the front is Porsche. I think it's Ferrari now. Just not get Carter down to fourth, so he'll be blazing on all guns now as he powers that Audi round the corner, just letting it sweep through.
Just gonna go down to the bottom order from 11th, as I don't know if this is the timing glitch where it's not registering, but we've also got that's a bit of a wobbly.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening there. Oh, it was obviously a bit of a lag there. Definitely a bit of a lag there. We still got
with, Armin.
Yeah, NGR Leo Frick, who's using the NSX on our timing still to put a time in. As I said, could have conflicted information here as well. Again, I think the NSX is one of them, maybe on stock tune, slightly underpowered from the other cars, but I think once you can get tuning on it and maybe sort of adjust it to your driving style and the track, I think that car will be quite a weapon to beat.
I just see it as a sort of Frankenstein. I mean, it's a lovely looking car, but in terms of the build of it, I think it's sort of got the McLaren front, the R8, the Audi middle, and a Lambo rear. That makes sense.
Yeah, a splice of just automatic godness. So
just under half a minute left, plus the final bit of qualifying as the final people on the track. So got a couple in the pits.
So see the Les, is he going to be able to put in a time? The Les says he hasn't. Obviously he's got enough time to do another lap.
Cage, I've not seen him driving before, so we'll just stick with him for the final bit of qualifying.
Chosen another NSX there as well. Yeah, Casa Cage, I think that is pronounced. So approaches and there's Armin, unfortunately just getting it wrong on the exit of the final corner. So Kazakage powers down the home straight, hope to be able to put in a time. Fingers crossed.
Now.
And it says no time recorded there.
That's a shame.
As I said, we'll report on the action that we can see on the screen. We are aware that there is some technical glitches with the director mode on Project Cars 2 at the moment. So if anyone is watching who's involved in the race, we apologise if what we're saying on screen isn't accurate to what's happening, but we can only report on what is being shown to us from the cameras. And we'll certainly know if it's wrong, because like when the last race started, drivers were sort of out of position from what we thought it was going to be. So we might start, at the start of the race, it might be a little bit sort of messy and over the place, but we'll try and counteract that just by catching as much of the action as possible.
I was pretty certain that my mind had just lost itself when that race started, because everyone had sort of flipped positions. I was like, what the hell is going on? So that's
saying the Les there, unable to put in any times. So let's put it in.
There we are.
So everyone apart from Kazakage is out on track. So we'll stick with Kazakage as this qualifying session comes to a close. And then we have 30 laps around Fuji Speedway. And that is the end of qualifying. So well done to Pro FUJI, who gained
That's a cracking time.
Pole place. And Amiga there. Pro Jaxi. So Porsche, Ferrari, Audi, Porsche, Audi, Ferrari, and McLaren and Audi. They round out your top 10. It's nice to see the McLaren there. So Ben Sully running really well in that. Yep. That McLaren, one of the twitchier cars. He's done well to, to keep up. Not too far off the guys in front time wise as well.
Definitely, we see Pro FUJI and Pro Taxi showing the benefit of good genetics.
Certainly, so we're just waiting for the game to get us onto the starting grid now. So a lot of information. So we'll just see license-wise as well. So we've still got NJR Migu's now running on an A license. Pro FUJI Airfield, he's not been online much on the gate. We'll see his licenses creep up in no time. So here we go. That might have actually been a practice session. Looks like this might be a qualifying session then, so that actually might have meant nothing whatsoever. This is definitely a qualifying session then, so that was a practice session, and now we're on to qualifying. Again, conflicting information is coming through, but yeah, we've just been confirmed this is now full qualifying session, so a lot of cars getting out of, still a lot of cars in the pit actually. See the pit symbol there disappearing on the cars. Tin Man sweeping left and right, getting heat in those tyres. That Ferrari, lovely camera shot there of the black and red torpedo as it blasts around Fuji Speedway. So a little dab of the brakes just to get the car under control around these long corners. So yeah, swinging left and right. I mean, you'll probably find it's going to take a lap and a half to get your tyres up to, the heat that needs to be. But as we've seen last time in qualifying, the lap time should drop down from the first lap to the last. So you can see him braking hard.
The track sort of rubbers in.
Yeah, you can see that as well. He's braking hard, sort of bringing the car to a halt just to sort of, get some friction on those tyres, add a bit more heat into it. Taking a very slow entry into the corners, not pushing it too hard. And there he goes down the home straight from his out lap onto his first time lap. I don't know if we can go on board with Tin Man. Watch his lap progress. So on board with Tin Man in the Lamborghini. Now, I don't know if you were also able on director mode, James, there. I think there's an option where it says it should... Oh, saves it well, but unfortunately that's not going to give him the best lap time can. If you have a look at the options, I think there's an option that says Speedo. I don't know if you're able to click on that, if that brings his actual... There we go. So now we can actually see the centre panel in the middle says neutral, but now we can see what gears he's using. We said last time I think it was disabled to maybe to protect the driver a little bit, but actually, yeah, it's just there that now we can see what gears he's using. Oh, almost looked like the car lifted off the ground a little bit there as it hit one of the small bumps in the track. So approaching now, here comes that technical part of the track, so heavy braking. Oh, unfortunately loses it there. Tyres still not up to the optimum temperature. So long sweep through the corner. It's the apex. All about trying to keep that line going through the section of the track. Turns in just a little bit too early. Has to correct just a little bit. Again, using as much of the curbs as he can, trying to get as much drive, keep the power going. It's powers down.
You can see how wide he has to sort of set up before turning in, just to get on the apex at the right point. So a lot of sort of work, even when it doesn't look like there's a lot of work going on, you're sort of doing a lot of sort of work on the wheel to get the car ready and get it in the right position for the for turning in.
Yeah, so
here, right to the left, almost a blind apex there.
Now, funny enough, it said that last lap hasn't counted. Maybe it was that first corner incident. He might have just gone off the track just a bit too much and it's discounted it there, but looking all good at the moment. Tyres obviously got a little bit more heat in them now as well. You can see it just gripping slightly better. And we've got one of the pro boys who's putting a 144. Oxo there's 152, currently sitting in second place with that time there. It's looking not a bad lap at the moment.
43 there, so we're approaching sort of the times that we saw in the practice session.
Yeah, Pro FUJI not first place at the moment. We've got one of the NGR lads.
This does look like a decent lap though from the onboard's perspective.
Nice on that. Turned a little bit too early on that corner 4, so he's I say it's not hard to learn this track. A couple of times already, you kind of instinctively know which corners are coming up. So we'll stick with him, see what time he puts in now. I'm going to say that's in the maybe 145, 147.
Hasn't actually registered.
Maybe it just take a second just to come through.
We don't have the issue we did the other night.
Yeah, I would definitely say that would have counted the lap. So it's Get Carter who's running first at the Pro. Gav is currently running second.
Certainly something that Slightly Mad will need to rectify. The sooner the better, because I suppose in a way for groups like us who run
ProGav
leagues
just taken first. Sorry to drop there. ProGav's just taken first there with a 140.
That is our resident alien, Pro FUJI.
Pro FUJI, yeah, still in that damaged Porsche. I think that's another little glitch that's with the game at the moment. I don't think damage repairs itself in between sessions.
No, I think the mechanics have gone off for a cup of tea and forgot to sort of fix the bodywork. Either that or the team's running on a budget and can't replace the slightly destroyed front and rear bumpers.
I don't think the rear bumpers are damaged, to be honest. I think that's just how it looks on the Porsche. There's no damage to the rear of the car there.
Oh, it looks a bit scuffed on mine, but it may just be, as I say, my perspective. You see the NXX running behind.
Yeah, that's NGR Armin. Oh, backfire there from the Porsche as he downshifts to the corner. Again,
So we've got
downshift,
an
flame
Italian
spitting.
thoroughbred, a German piece of art, and then the NXX, which I believe is Japanese.
Well, you could say Japanese, but it's actually on the game. It's Akura, which is the American. It was actually I think built and tuned in America, but I would still class it as Honda and say it's Japanese myself personally.
Yeah, yeah. Born in the USA.
A little bit of nice singing there. So Pro FUJI is going to improve on his
nice.
time.
He does, and that's quicker than his practice time as well.
Yeah, so under the 140s now.
He's
So
got a
he's
bit of a draft and that cleared air from the Ferrari up ahead of the final straight, and just sort of shaved a few more temps off.
It is possible. It is possible. So we see Get Carter still in third. So can he push anything more out of this Audi to catch up with that Porsche? Maybe get into second place. Pro FUJI with almost a 4-second advantage on anyone else at the moment. I believe Get Carter is just behind Pro FUJI on track. So not always a bad thing to have the person that's putting in the best times in front of you on the track. You can, trace the line that they're on, sort of see where they're braking. I mean, obviously it's different cars, so you've got to take that into account. But you definitely can be to your benefit there as well. I mean, I would say look at that Audi slightly maybe gaining on that Porsche there as well.
That'll be very interesting to see what sort of time this is. I think it'll certainly be quicker than his 43 that he's done so far. Although he's very, very late into that. And that's discounted that, unfortunately.
Yeah, all wheels over the white line. That's could definitely be a lap time killer there. So he comes around the final corner. You can hear him there, power down, get the engine screaming of that Audi. So we'll see now if he improves. But personally, I think that could be a lap killer. I still can't get over how long that straight is.
Yeah, I think that wasn't registered, so we'll have a look at Springy.
Oh, a couple of cars there. That's the Les and Tim.
In the wall.
Yeah, the Les and Tin Man there. So the Les in that M6 and Tin Man in that red and black Lamborghini. So it's saying on the boards there as well. Still both to put in a time. Definitely with this lap it will discount it. So you can see there on the map where most of the traffic is. Thankfully not too much for the cars out on track as well. Looks like there's a couple of them just in front of this guy here that's basically bumper to bumper. So Springy still to put in a lap time, so we'll see as he approaches now if he can put one in. Looks like he's got a little bit of front end damage on that Audi there as well. As we wait with bated breath to see if he can put it in. No, still no time registered for him as well, so only 7 at the moment. It's saying that it's put lap times in. I'm not so sure that's accurate, if I'm completely honest with you. Ben Sully there.
The McLaren of Ben. Yeah, good consistent driver, and certainly very brave, taking the McLaren out today. As we know, it is a little twitchy, but still a great car, great looking car. Almost makes you want to have some licorice or sorts now with that sponsorship.
Sticks.
I think it's like candy, licorice, choc. Yeah.
So just a question, how is Lee W07 getting on at the moment? Lee W07 is saying that he's not put any timings on our board. What we'll do is we'll just watch Ben Sully finish his lap now, and then we'll just have a quick look at Lee W, see what's happening with his lap. So Lee W, here he comes across the line, choosing the red and black Audi.
See, I think I know when if they've actually had a lap invalidated. I always see one just spinning off there behind them. It comes up with a little exclamation mark icon within the actual driver order.
Ah, right, okay.
So I've not seen that, and they've crossed the line. But as I say, from our perspective, it's not registered at time, and we're certainly not seeing it if it has. So I do think, unfortunately, we have a similar issue to what we encountered the other night, but we'll do our best to sort of navigate around that and keep you up to date with as accurate as information as we possibly can.
Yeah, certainly. As I said, we'll report of what we can see on the screen as it happens. We just apologise to any drivers that are watching that unfortunately isn't getting recorded accurately. So don't take into account people aren't putting lap times there. That's, you know, maybe not genuine. So I'm pretty sure that Pro FUJI will be leading the way. He's actually Oxo there. So Andy Oxterby in second place. He's put in a great performance there since his practice session there. So nice to see him up in second place.
So this has been a clean lap.
Oh, I don't know if that would have discounted it using the off-run part of the track. Such a shame there. If you can put in a good lap and then unfortunately that last corner just take it out a little bit wide, and so yeah, it's unfortunately not updated. Now again, this is the same thing that we had last time in qualifying. Amiga, who is saying they're running 15th. Amiga's one of our better drivers. I'm pretty sure. I mean, he is letting people pass, so maybe he's on a lap or something. Maybe he's he had a bit of a break or something. We'll have to see, but yeah, I personally don't think he's running 15th. Although it does seem to be slightly twitchy with that Ferrari there. Oh, managed to keep it there. Thought he was almost going to lose the back end. But as we see, most drivers there choosing just to go down to second gear in the corner. Amiga going all the way down to first. Maybe that's what, you know, just a bit too much torque. Allow the back end just to slightly creep out on him.
I mean, the good thing we know about that is that one of the big improvements from the original project cars is you can save them. Whereas the last one that would have been resulted in a spin.
Yeah, definitely. It's certainly travelling at that speed, it is one of them that's you know, you can catch up quite easy. So see Amiga still not registered any time there as well at the moment.
Oof.
We've still got Pro FUJI's leading the way over Oxo at the moment. Oxo currently in the pits there as well. Looks like NJR Get Carter still running in third place.
Tell you what I'm going to do. When we see someone actually start a lap, I'm going to set the stopwatch on the phone and then see if we can clock them.
So it looks like someone is approaching the start line at the moment there as well. Don't know who that is.
Yeah, we just missed him. But we'll go with the couple in the final sector. So we'll have a look at Tin Man. So let's just test this out. We need the clock. We need the stopwatch. And we need to go to the cockpit view. So let's have a look, see if we can sort of gauge what time people are posting, even if it's not sort of registering. He's just about to come across the start-finish line. There we go, and we're underway. So this is just a little bit of an experiment.
Yeah, so we obviously might be off by, you know, a little bit of time, but at least it gives us an idea, and we'll be able to see if it's, you know, in our opinion, a clean lap and a lap that should be awarded. Oh, unfortunately that might have discounted it there. Yeah, looks like he sort of slowed down quite a bit there as well, so
yeah,
unfortunately it was as we were experimenting there as well. So again, it's just commentator curse that we've messed someone race up for him. There we go, so we're on board with Lee W07. Again, going quite slow there down the home straight.
This is not going well.
So, I mean, we've now got 9 people who've put times in, so people who hadn't put a time in are showing. So I mean, it could be that, you know, we are wrong and people are, you know, slightly maybe using a bit too much of the track limits.
Definitely.
We do know that sometimes
we'll see everyone sort of post a time before the end. We've got just over 11 minutes left, so there's every chance.
Yeah, we've still got time to put in a good 5 laps.
Yeah, maybe more though. If you're out on the track while qualifying ends, you're going to get another go round. This is all good. We've got Oxo in the pits, who else? Mark, Dark Sights and Pro Gav. I wonder if they're just thinking about ways where they can maybe eke a bit more time out.
Could be one there where you sort of monitor the, you know, Pro Fubbies out on track. It could be one of them sit in the track, monitor him, maybe watch what he's doing, watch his lines, try and learn a little bit from him. As I said, you've got to take into account obviously running different cars, but you know, you can learn that little bit just by watching the racecraft of the other person.
It looks a decent lap so far, nice and clean. Car seems stable as well, which, as we've seen with the Ferrari and the McLaren at times, just have a natural sort of twitch to them. If you're not sort of gentle enough and sort of responsible on the throttle. But Pro Fubby definitely got this car mastered by the looks of things and is driving very, very smoothly round here.
Yeah, so just a message on YouTube there that someone watching can't hear the car, so the screen is just going to go blue from the streaming end just while I try and adjust the audio settings. Just 1 second. Okay, so just let me know if that is now any better. Or someone's just replied underneath that they can hear the cars. But just let me know, Jack, if that's coming through any better for you. Just slightly adjusted it there. Sounds slightly louder through my headphones now, so just let me know if that's drowning out my voice.
That's Jack synopsis.
No, just someone watching on YouTube, just a YouTube watcher, just saying so. Oxo, it's Rutherford. So during that there, so someone has moved in second. I think that's probably going to be MGR. Get Carter.
No,
it's Amiga. So you know, we were wrong before. It was just actually people not putting in lap times. So we take it all back. You can shoot us now. And it's actually saying there he's slightly down, slightly up on his time there as well. So we might see him improve slightly.
Yeah, he'll definitely not be happy with us just over the second in terms of the difference between him and Pro Fubby. We know he's quick, and he'll be utilising this final 8 minutes or so to try and eat in. And you know, maybe if he can take another second off, it's going to give him a bit of confidence going into the race that after 7, 8, 9, 10 laps, Pro Fubby isn't going to be sort of a dot in the distance.
You can see there, I mean, Pro Fubby sort of, you know, over a second in front. But look at the times from second down to ninth. There's nothing really separating anyone there at all, to be honest. Pro FUJI's just set a new fastest lap there as well.
Gauntlet laid again. It's a great time.
So we'll see if Amiga can now bring that gap down even
he's
more.
Go into the 140s, but let's have a look. Yeah, called it.
Shaved a little bit off his time there, but obviously Pro FUJI will be watching that. I mean, obviously he's not going to be seeing the exact same time as that we are on screen, but you know, I'm sure he'll be wondering. You know, he won't give up until the very end. Pro FUJI, he knows that any time not spent out on the track is the time that others can gain on him. Get Carter is pushing here as well. Gets a nice exit out the corner.
I mean, this sort of track limits thing is definitely going to make qualifying sessions during the forthcoming season very interesting. You know, I suppose in terms of a mental sense, if you've got halfway through qualifying and you know you can't really join up the sectors, you know, you may be good in sector 1, not so good in sector 2, and average in sector 3, but on the next lap you make a mistake in sector 1, so the pressure comes off, but you're rapid in sector 2 and 3. It's putting all 3 together, or 4, depending on how many sectors, and then that's getting you your sort of optimum lap time. But then again, if you keep making the mistakes and your lap times aren't registering, every time you go round, it's another minute, 2 minutes off before the end of qualifying, so the pressure sort of magnifies, and that can lead to more mistakes. So I wonder if that's why we are seeing drivers failing in the 30-minute period to actually register a fully fledged lap.
Yeah, one thing, I'm trying to work out how the penalty system works exactly in Project Cars 2 as well. One thing that I seem to have noticed, I don't know if this is as accurate or not, if you get a penalty towards the last corner, it discounts that lap, but it also seems to discount the next lap, because it seems to think, well, hang on, you've got no unfair advantage going into the next lap, so we're going to take that one off you as well as an extra punishment. I don't know if that's just me, what I picked up while driving. It could just be me putting two and together and getting 4, but it's one thing that you do have to take into account. It's where do you push and where do you hold back, because like in real life, you know, touring cars, F1 for example, the littlest bit off the thing and they'll take that lap time off you, whether it's, you know, good or not. So, you know, it happens in real life. But Get Cart's been pushed down to 5th there at the moment. So we've got another pro lad who's moved up to 3rd. Pushed Oxo down to 4th. So Pro FUJI 1st, Pro Jatsy, so father and son in 1st and 2nd. Let's just watch this here, because that looked to me like that Ferrari was gaining on that Porsche.
Look at that.
And if that was your finish there, ladies and gentlemen, that was a photo finish. Pro Jatski's moved down to 3rd, so it looks like we've got an NGR who's moved up to 2nd. So that's Amiga. So we've got Porsche, Ferrari.
But yeah, I think you're right about that in terms of the penalty carrying over to the next lap. I mean, I think if you go off more than once on a particular singular lap, it will also discount. But as you say, if you do it in sort of the final stages, it can maybe look at it that you're getting an unfair advantage exit speed coming out the final sector or final corner. So it's going to sort of bring that the next lap and discount it. It's certainly something that maybe has been fed back to SMS, because, give you an example, Donington in R Factor 2, when doing some qualifying for the British Touring Car Championship, a lot of people were sort of doing 107s, 108s, which was ridiculous in terms of the normal is a 110, 109 maybe, but what they were doing is the last sort of chicane, just going straight over it, letting that lap time be discounted, knowing that when they cross the start finish, it's not going to discount that lap, but they've already got like a 10, 15, 20 mile an hour speed boost from if they had actually had to have slowed down and took the chicane as normal. So I think that maybe is a good feature, certainly just to keep it fair.
Yeah, it's, you know, as it swings around, people say, well, would that happen in real life? But I suppose, you know, it depends on the day. It depends on, you don't want people getting unfair advantages. You don't want the game being too harsh at the same time.
I'm just amazed at the pace of the Ferrari down the straight. It just seems to chew up that Porsche.
I mean, it could be the toe that get cooking it there, slams his rear into the fence. It goes back to pits. It could be just the toe of the car in front. I mean, he had quite a close proximity to that Porsche, so it could be that's taken into account. One of the lights are damaged there on that M6. Good job, it's not a 24-hour endurance race with night involved. I think we'll have to get a night race set up. Maybe a day to night transition race going, which we'll stream for you guys. If you are watching on YouTube as well, and you think, you know, I'd love to see NXTGEN do a test race in a certain car class, you know, do let us know in the comments if there's anything you'd like to see us run. We'll try and get something set up.
Yeah, and if you are watching, we appreciate it. But if you're not yet, click the subscribe button. Please give us a like and subscribe, and also tell your friends if you haven't already. We are trying to build a community, and you know, it's not a case of we want to just keep it to a select group of drivers. Everyone's welcome, so you know, join us anytime.
Yeah, let us know your ideas. The crazier the better. So if you want a full storm race with no assists and, I don't know, the Porsche 918, or you know, the holy Trinity race, if you want to see, you know, just the McLaren P1, the 918 and the LaFerrari going round, you know, tracks, just let us know. We'll see what we can do. But yeah, you know, if you haven't subscribed, click subscribe, click the little bell as well to inform you. We do, you know, we're going to try and attempt to get weekly videos uploaded of content of Project Cars 2. We've got GT Sport, it's coming out. Am I right in thinking that the GT Sport demo has gone live now as well? Is it the 9th of October today?
I think it. Yeah, no, it's only the 4th today. It's next week.
Right, so it goes live on Monday. So yeah, we'll definitely have some GT Sport coverage coming up as well. Hoping that the online side of things for private lobbies is going to be active, so we'll, you know, hopefully get some of that footage going. But yeah, we've got Assetto Corsa that we're racing as well, so we'll try and get some Assetto Corsa races stream. Project Cars 2, that'll get a lot of action from us.
And a lot of our members do also have their own YouTube channels.
Okay, so this is coming direct from the race. So this is the actual timings at the moment. So we've got not the timings but positions. We've got Tin Man, who's in first, Profubby is in second, Kazakage is in third, and Amiga is in fourth. So yeah, as you can see there, the times.
Well, we appreciate whoever's sent that through to us. We've got the last, qualifying's over now, apart from those out on track. So we are going to have to play the guessing game in terms of the final sort of positions. But hey ho. Yeah,
this is certainly one of those things that, you know, hopefully, you know, SMS is watching, maybe Andy Tudor, someone like that. You know, director mode's fantastic, but you know, unfortunately, there's a few little bugs on there. You know, if this was at an event or something like that, it's, you know, it's not making the guys that are shoutcasting or directing any easier really, because it is conflicting with what's actually happening in the game, as you can see there. So we've got Tin Man, who's in first, whereas it says he's in 13th and not put a time in ours. We've got Profubby, who's in second. He's currently running in first. Kazakage, who's in third. Says that there he's not put in a time, and then NGR Amiga, who's in fourth, who says he's second on ours. So yeah, we might see this is what happened on our last test race, and this is why we're doing these test races, so we can, you know, get footage, and then we can obviously send it off to, you know, SMS. It's not, you know, it's not a dig at them saying, look, and this is not a way to say this game's broken, nobody should play it. This is really like constructive criticism in a way, really saying, look, this is how amazing this could be. can we get it sorted? So
Yeah, I mean, it's something new, and yeah, it's always going to have glitches, but it's just as I
so
say,
Tin Man, it's saying Tin Man is first with a 148.296. Wow.
What? A 140 out of 130.
So there we go. Now it's put it incorrect. So yep. So that is now put it correct how it should be.
Bobby, Cascade, Amiga, Les, Projecti, Get Carter, Ox, Dark Sykes, Pro Gav, Ben, Bringy, Dan, Lee, and Leo Frick. So good luck, everyone.
So this is your official. This is your official confirmed starting. So it's nice that it has actually put them there in order. But I think this is what threw us out on the last one, and we spent about 2 minutes of the opening of the race last time going. I'm trying to find the person that's in first for you. So nice to know. At least we're not too confused now. So we've got Tin Man. Well done to him for getting pole in that Lamborghini, or someone with a jump start there. So lights go green, cars go roaring down the straight, approaching the first corner. Tin Man moved over to protect there with Pro Fubby taking the outside line. I think Pro Fubby might have lost a couple of spaces there as well, left the door open for a couple of people.
Attacked.
So see there,
we
Fields.
Did have a Lambo on pole, so maybe not lacking in pace as much as we thought it may.
So going too wide round the corner there as well. Tin Man and Pro Fubby sort of running away just from the others there as well. Got Progav now in the Ferrari, who's battling that Audi of Oxo just behind him there as well. Tin Man holding his defensive line. Edgy Dan trying to move his way up the field past that ASX of Leo Frick there. All the cars screaming round. Everyone taking a similar line now as we enter this technical part of the track. Heavy on the brakes. And that's a nudge there.
That's Turkington on Moffat all over again.
Get Carter, won't be pleased that, although it did give him a little budge around the corner. So see Pro Fubby in second there as well. Kazakage in that NSX, slowly climbing up behind him there as well. Pro Fubby must think about defensive driving now as well. This allowing Tin Man in that Lamborghini to slightly go ahead. Kazakage thinking about the lunge. Little bit of a touch there, just let him know he's there. Backs off a little bit, just thinking, oh, don't want to be getting past by doing any moves like that, having to sacrifice his position, allow others to gain.
See, for me, it's saying that Kazakage is in 11th and Tin Man's 10th. So I'm going to do my best to make sure I keep an eye on the order. So bear with me.
It's alright, so we've got Pro Fubby who's currently running second there as well. Looks like Kazakage there might have been able to get a move past him on the SX. No, unfortunately Tin Man did manage to get a through him there as well. So we've got Amiga who's currently running there as well. Screaming through that corner there as well. So on board with Kazakage now. So he's got to really think about pushing this NSX as hard as he can. Catching up to Pro Fubby, one thing getting past is quite another. Flames spitting out the back of Pro Fubby's Porsche there. So we're on board with Tin Man who's leading the way out in first. On board now with Pro Fubby in the Porsche.
See the flames coming out the back there.
That body slightly damaged. The bonnet there might be distracting from his view. Hugs the apex there. Around this tight technical section part of the track.
Just to pimp my ride bonnet, that, isn't it?
Nice little hugging of the apex there as he approaches now the final corner. Takes a wide entry in. Looks the apex, powers down onto the home straight.
Let's just see.
I don't know if we can catch
the power of the cars.
I think he's a bit too far back to benefit from getting a tow from that Lamborghini. So see there, long line of GT3 powerhouses powering down the straight. Look at the back there, looks like we've got a BMW M6 there chasing down the Ferrari. That's the BMW M6 driven by the Les. So looks like a nice little battle is going to form here between this and the Italian Powers 488. So there's... Oh, gets a little bit of the dirt there as well. Loses a little bit of traction. Oh, looks like the Ferrari there is got to make the best. Oh, nice there. Unfortunately, that Ferrari just caught a little bit of the grass. Get a little bit unsettled. He's now fighting back with the Les here.
Is that Amiga or is that...
I think it might be Projatski in that Ferrari that's battling with the Les.
Okay. So we've got him. Yes,
here we are. Yes, so Projatski here. Oh, very close there. A little bit of a nudge going into the corner. That is proving dangerous there for some of the drivers who are following. They do need to bear in mind the cars are going to be stopping, almost stopping in front of them. As again, we battle through this tight technical section part of the track. M6 sweeping into the corner. Projatski just needs to get his head down, apply the pressure, not too much. You can really see the difference there going into the corner.
How's he going to be able to use the clean air and the draft?
Yeah, we know that Ferrari's got some power here. He should be able to pull the switch on him here.
Having such a big body, it's going to create a lot more sort of clean air for the car behind. But it's held its own sort of down the straight, hasn't lost too much time.
Yeah, the power in that M6. Oh, he's done the switch on him here, though. He's going down the inside. Needs to be careful, though. M6 is going to try and pull it back of him. M6 has to concede the place there. That was wonderful driving by Projatski to give him that position. The Les is definitely not going to go out without a fight here, though. On board, watching Oxo going down the home straight now as well. Bit of a distance between him and the guys in front.
So we do have our leader at the moment, from my understanding. It's showing him in 11th on my onboard, but it looks like he's building a bit of a healthy lead.
Yeah, Tin Man's still well in front there as well. And Kazakage and Pro Fubby battling here for second place. Porsche versus Honda. Or Acura, however you want to do it.
Shallow into that corner.
Managed to get his car in the way just in time to protect his line. Oh, cuts back in cross there as well. That was a brave move from Pro Fubby. Kazakage thinking, how do I get in front of this guy? Pushing that Honda well. Applying the pressure.
Don't want to be losing too much time on Tim, man. He'll appreciate the fact that these guys are battling each other.
Looks like he's got the speed on him here on this home straight. Oh, he slots back in. Just not enough. That Porsche slightly pulling away there as well. On board with Kazakage now as we watch him tracing the line of Pro Fubby just in front in that Porsche. Heavy braking into corner one. Just glide it round. Power down, corrects it there. Just to counteract any slide that Honda was going to throw at him. Down the brakes. Engine cracking and popping. Pro Fubby on the grass there. Oh, slides it across the track but keeps it under control. That is one thing. If you're too close to these, you can easily get taken out if someone makes a mistake. So it's finding that place that you want to attack and want to overtake. Kazakage and Tin Man looks like
ahead, so he's definitely come back into view. I don't know.
I was going to say that gap has definitely decreased a slight little bit on that Lamborghini. And it always helps when you see the car in front getting that little bit bigger. It does help you push on a little bit. Oh, both guys taking a very wide line into that corner, almost messing it up. That's going to lose some time for the NSX there as well. Pro Fubby can take a little bit of a breather now.
It is saying
the final corner.
Still on lap 1 of 30 on mine, so again, apologies as we got a freeway here, a menage a trois of GT3. I think we've got the Les.
So, Kazakage here with a good run up on Pro Fubby.
Because he closed up. Is he going to show him the dummy? Look to the outside, nip down the inside? No, he's had to sort of bide his time again.
So these cars battling. It did look like the Les was in a battle in the back as well with two Ferraris.
It does look that way. So we'll
never. I mean, it's never a nice thing to see when you've got one Ferrari in your mirror, but when you see two of them coming at you side by side, that that can add the panic to it. Both Ferraris there fighting this out at the moment.
I think that's Amiga. Yes, it is.
So Amiga.
Pro Gav. Who's the other one? Well, it could be. Let's have a look. The Pro Gav. No.
I think it's Pro Jatsky. That's who it is. So yeah, NGR Amiga and Pro Jatsky here fighting out in the Ferrari. I think next time we'll definitely have to get everyone to use a different livery. It does make our job a lot easier. NGR Amiga going for a move here. Oh, can't make it stick. Pro Jatsky though goes in fast the corner. That's going to definitely help NGR Amiga. Pro Jatsky managed to get out of there, still in front. Yeah, that's one thing you've got to be careful of. Go in the corner faster, but it could definitely affect your line there. So managed to keep NGR Amiga at bay for another lap. Field very bunched up at the back, just behind them there, though. You can see on the map.
So we'll just join a couple of our guys who we've not checked in with yet. We do have a bit of a battle going on. I'm not sure of the order, but
so we got
Ben Sully on screen here, and he's got one in front, two behind. I think it's a cluster of Aldis with a McLaren as the meat in the sandwich.
Yeah, so Ben Sully is in 11th, if I'm reading the map correctly there as well.
Right up.
But he's pushing on well with that McLaren. See, there are similar gaps between the cars at the moment. Light blaring on the R8 there. I think that's Oxo. That's just in front of him. Oh, does well to avoid anything there, Ben Sully. That's almost a blind corner if you enter that there as well. So trying to get the Audi going. Struggling to get it off the grass.
Back on the track safely.
Lets all traffic go. It lost a lot of positions there, though, unfortunately. And Pro Jatsky and NGR Amiga. So NGR Amiga has managed to get in front. So the way you'll tell them apart is Amiga's got the lights on, Pro Jatsky hasn't. Amiga taking a very defensive line there as well, covering his track. Does well to read that Pro Jatsky's trying to get, but Pro Jatsky going up the inside here. Oh, contact.
I don't think that was intentional.
That was
in any way.
Pro Jatsky going up the inside, but there was definitely no room to make that move there as well. You're definitely going on the grass, and unfortunately that is going to happen if you try and go for moves like that.
Yeah, it was a very, very small window of opportunity as the sort of corner closed up. There was no room, but thankfully he should be able to rejoin with no damage being off, so not going to end his race.
Yeah, NGR Amiga definitely had the line covered. He's not going to move over to let him through easily. He's just going to hold his line. Pro Jatsky went for it, unfortunately went on the grass, a little bit of a touch. The car was unsettled because it's on the slippy stuff anyway. And yeah, you're changing your 500 grand car into a lawnmower just for 5 minutes, I'm afraid, by trying to get moves like that. Sometimes they can work, sometimes they don't. Unfortunately on this occasion it didn't work for him. So NGR Amiga currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think he's in 6 at the moment. Tin Man still running well. Pro Fubby there in the background. You can see pulled a slight gap on Kazakage.
Yeah, and also we can see that the lead there, Tin Man has extended his lead again after it sort of being closed up.
So again, looks like we've got a little battle further back at the field. Just entering that long sweeping left corner at the moment.
Just trying to pick up on that as we go further down. Again, apologies as I just sort of...
There we go, so here's the battle. So it's Lee W07. So it's Audi versus Ferrari.
I'll just find out who
that's...
Tin Man's off.
Tim Man, I don't know if that was a touch from one of the drivers there. Let's course to go left. We caught the action just right at the last minute. I think that might have been. Yeah, I think that might have been Dark Sykes. Maybe just a lock up from the Audi there as well. Of course, I mean, Tim Man able to still pull away without losing any places there as well.
So we've got the Oxo running. Pencil, he's got a bit of space. We've got a driver in the pits.
So do bear with us as we try and bring you the action there. Obviously the positions aren't exactly as they are on the actual standing. So it's NGR get caught in the Audi, and that's the Les in the BMW M6 there. So the Les clawing down. NGR get caught is just trying his hardest to keep the Audi going. It's German powerhouse versus German powerhouse. I think that M6 might slightly have the up on the top speed on this track. And if the Les can keep at him this close till the home straight, I think he might be able to just sneak in front of him. See one of the bollards on the track there. The M6 taking a long sweep through the corner. So we see the Les now on board with the Les.
Just see, say he's closed up there. I think he'll take him here.
So all NGR gets behind, gets ready for the tow. And he's going to switch now. And they can see the Audi just to the left, but he's going to have the inside line. And there is that glitch with the board on the track there. It does happen on this track for some reason, but yeah, we'll now slot in front. You can see their cars wobbling under the heavy braking. And then Get Carter has to let the M6 go in front. There's nothing he could do. Oh, he's on the grass though. That is going to lose him some time. Get Carter's going to keep pushing here as much as he can. Nothing between these two at the moment. Oh, gets very close to him on that corner. So Audi looking a lot better through the corners.
Let's not forget we've got Amiga, who is just behind. He's not too far off the two ahead, having a battle, so he's definitely come back into the equation.
We'll definitely stick with Amiga here at the moment as he catches up on these two. You can see the gap just decreasing with every little bit of tarmac that these cars cross on. Just gently flows it through this technical section of the track. Get Carter will now see that Ferrari with its lights blaring right in his mirror. And GR Amiga, one of our racers from Scotland. I'm sure he'll be fueled up on Iron Brew. And here we'll see the power of this Ferrari now against the Audi. And again, just using the tow. And there's nothing that Amiga can do about it, although doesn't look like it. Yes, there we go. So there's the line. Amiga, Get Carter, all he can do is look what happened to him with the Les as well, and just say, well, there goes another place.
That's definitely some good power coming through there, mate.
So Get Carter will be kicking himself now. That's exactly in 2 laps that the same move has been done on him twice in a row. But hopefully he can keep up with them, and then he can return the favour on the next lap. So here we see Lee W07. That's a Ferrari just in front of him. Unfortunately not close enough to get any benefit. Oh, but that was it. And that's NGR Darn in the Ferrari 488 that spun that first corner. That corner has caught out a few of the racers there this time. Flames spitting from the back of the Ferrari. Tim Man still running well in first place.
Profubby not too far behind at all. And then behind them, got the NXX. So
just questions coming in from YouTube here. So Mr. Question Mark, why is 9th to 14th place not at a time? That is actually a bug with the game, and what you're seeing is 9th place. So 9th place is actually 3rd place. So the best thing to do is those timing boards up there is just ignore them, because unfortunately they're not accurate. Pro FUJI is in 2nd, Tin Man is in 3rd, and you can see Tin Man on the timing board is in 13th. Unfortunately, it's not an accurate representation of what's happening on the track. That's why, unfortunately, some of the screens getting to the drivers that we want is a little bit over the place, I'm afraid to say.
Yeah.
So
I'm all over the place at the moment.
Looking through. So here we are. NGR Leo Frick is in the NSX there at the moment. So I believe he'll be one of the drivers at the back. Just trying to power through, concentrate on what he needs to do, try and make up some positions in the race.
So just further back, I can see there's a battle unfolding. There we go.
So Amiga now trying to get past the M6. Has got NGR Carter still behind them there as well. So NGR holding on for dear life, trying to catch up as close as these guys as he can to get some advantage down the home straight. I mean, if you can get just behind Amiga on that home straight, you're probably going to be able to get past that M6 as well there. The Les holding his line well in that M6. He's not going to give in and change off line. I think he's done enough to stay out front. We're on board with Amiga. See if Amiga can get that Ferrari down the side and hold that line for the first corner.
Here we go.
Oh, Amiga really late on the brakes there as well. Is he going to be able to hold it?
I think he has. That's a great job.
Very, very well played by Amiga there. You could see him so much later on the brakes than the Les, but I think the Les might have been going in for a slow in, fast out option, but unfortunately just didn't pay off on this occasion. The Les just needs to stay with him now. Both of these cars able to pull slightly away from Get Carter. Oh, the Les going very wide there as well. Don't know if it was a slight lock-up or a plan to maybe get a good sweeping line through the corner.
Yeah, just some slightly faster corners there, so maybe he was trying to close the gap through them, but very smooth driving by Amiga as we come to expect.
So, question coming in, how's Lee W getting on? We'd love to be able to answer your question properly, but unfortunately it's quite hard to work out how the guys are getting on, especially as the race progresses. As Lee W07 is there, I think he might be in last place if I'm reading the map correctly there as well. He's got a few dots in front of him. It could be towards the back. Unfortunately, it's quite hard to say. It says that he's in 12th there. That might be a good place to put him, but unfortunately I don't know. Apologies to Lee W. We're not able to sort of confirm what position in, but I think he's towards the back of the pack. It doesn't appear that he's in the front. The front runners seem to be, we've got Tin Man, Pro FUJI, Kazakage, and then you've got the Les, NGR Amiga.
I'm very pleased to report that I've got some Cheetos.
Other snacks are widely available, but NGR looks like I think that's Andy Oxtoby. It might have been Lee W07 that might have been having a little bit of a spin there. It was Andy Oxtoby, so Oxo. Fortunately, so
just holding his position. I think that was ghosting. So
yeah, so car ghost. So that's an option that you can switch on in the game there, just to avoid any unnecessary collisions. So Kazakage, who's running in third.
I'm just trying to pick up the battle that I can see here, because we've got a few cars that are close together.
So I think this is actually the back runners now. So it looks like Dark Sykes in last place, because that was Tin Man approaching in his Lamborghini. So I think we've got Dark Sykes who's in last place. So here's the front runner. So now approaching traffic. So lights flashing there, just to let him know he is coming through. You can see Pro Fubby there in the Porsche screaming down the straight. Oh, Tin Man does well to...
There was a little nick there.
I didn't see any contact, but he does well to avoid his car from spinning. Pro Fubby is really putting his foot down now.
He's definitely gained some time.
The gap definitely is closing. And Kazakage is got to try and keep up with them as well. I don't know if that was Tin Man that was catching the grass there as well. No, it looks like that's NGR Dawn in the 488. Not making any problems for the front runners to get past. That gap is definitely closing. This is definitely going to be a battle for first place towards the end of the race. So we replace that slow part of the track. NGR Dawn and
two
Docs.
major battles developing.
So it looks like that
Who's
488.
at this stage, then?
You know, Tin Man's running really well. I wouldn't. You know, if it was a better man, I'd probably throw a couple of quid on Pro Fubby as well. You know, he's showing good pace at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I mean, yeah, Tin Man. I mean, you can see there. It looks like he's managed to pull a little bit of a distance.
Yeah.
So we're just cycling through now, trying to find where the action is. Amiga looks like he's managed to put some distance.
Ahead of the Les here. Yes,
Yeah, he has managed to put a little bit.
Now.
You know, the Les will be a little bit gutted about that. Probably would have liked to stay with him. But you know, that sheer power and grip of the Ferrari on stock 2 might just be overpowering some of the cars. Yeah, the gearing down there as he approaches this slow first corner. Flames spitting there out the exhaust, side exhaust of the M6. So I mean, the Les now must be thinking, I mean, with NGR Dawn that's maybe pitted in, maybe damage is on. I'm not sure. Interesting why he may have pitted there. Maybe he did have some bonnet damage that may be obscuring his view. Maybe pitted in just to see if it fixed that.
Yeah, certainly. Or it could just be, I don't know, could it have put him on a different set of tyres that he wanted? Maybe a glitch. But, hopefully whatever it was, it's sorted now.
Yeah, I can see, so just on the map there, we're looking.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I'm just trying to cycle through, sort of coming out the last.
So there's Pro Fubby, you can see.
So I think it's Amiga and the Les. And yeah, we've got, I think that's Leo.
Yeah, I think Leo Frick is maybe a back marker.
Yeah. But the Les is not letting Amiga get away.
It's definitely not over. There's, you know, you can, if you keep pushing, you know, it only takes one little sort of slip and for the car to sort of, you know, catch it in a spin. And, you know, you do lose time, and the Les will definitely be able to, you know, pounce on that and get that position back. Maybe NGR Carter has dropped off the pace out of this battle though, unfortunately. So I mean, at least the Les doesn't have that to worry about in his mirrors. He can just concentrate on attack driving. Push that M6 as much as he can around this Fuji Speedway track. So Tin Man's still out in first.
Again, looking comfortable. I mean, it isn't a foregone conclusion, but we should see.
Looking at that though,
he's actually dropped further back, hasn't he?
Yeah, I don't know if we can find where Pro Fubby is on the track, whether he's dropped to third.
Well, that's Tim has just got onto the straight, and
so there's Pro Fubby there. So Pro Fubby has
increased.
There's commentator curse again. There's me saying I'd throw some money on Pro Fubby. I've just lost
That's
my
why you're
couple of
not a
quid
betting man, mate.
at the moment.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it says that we're on coming up to lap 18 of 30 at the moment, so I would say that is an accurate information that we are receiving here. So, Pro FUJI, I wonder what happened there. As always, we try and catch as much of the action as we can. But unfortunately, we have lost it. But Cage able to take full benefit of it. Here we see in the stunning orange, white and black NSX. So Tin Man has just got to really play the game that he's doing from the start of the race. Really, just keep your head down, concentrate on your lines, try not to lose concentration. It is a 30-lap race, so it is one of them where concentration can slip a little bit towards sort of the latter part of the race. You can find yourself sometimes switching into autopilot. Oh, a little bit of a sideways action there as well. Recovers it though, avoids any spin. But again, as I was saying there, concentration can just lapse a little bit. And sometimes just force an error out of the driver. And sometimes it takes something like that, doesn't it, for the car to just get out a little bit out of control, sort of kick you back into where you are in the race.
Yeah, you'd almost sort of switch onto autopilot at times, and that's sort of like the alarm bell, just to, you know, if you'd ever, I've done it myself, or seen it happen driving down the motorway, and I'm not comparing it to racing around the track, but you can slip into sort of autopilot mode where your concentration levels drop off, and you just need that something, a little bit of a jolt, just to snap you out of it.
Yeah, in a way, you could almost go too much into the zone, where you go into it that much, you forget that you're in the zone, and then you sort of come out thinking, "Oh, what am I doing here?" And that it's that moment there where you suddenly jolt back to reality. That's when mistakes can happen. Les pushing this M6 hard, trying to catch up with Miga. This very slow first corner.
We'll just see Miga up ahead, so you can see the gap there.
Yeah, the gap's not huge, but sadly for the Les, it is getting slightly bigger as Amiga settles this Ferrari into this Fuji Speedway track. Track will obviously be slightly more rubbing in now as well, so drivers will be able to get a bit more grip around some of the corners. But a little bit lonely for Amiga out there at the moment. He's just got to really keep pushing hard, try and catch up with the front runners. So there we see Pro FUJI.
So we'll just have a look at some of the drivers we haven't spent too much time with. We've got a bit of a battle going on here, I think.
Yeah, it's NGR Dawn and Ben Sully. So NGR Dawn trying to find a way past the McLaren. McLaren, compared to a lot of the other cars, not looking that damaged at the moment. It's we won't be getting a steep bill from his team when he gets back to the pits.
Just going to put a mention out there for the forthcoming season. I am looking to run a GTE league on a Tuesday night. So if you've already sort of planned an event and I've got in there too late, just give us a shout. But if you do want to sign up and get involved, it's going to be sort of 8:30, 9 o'clock onwards. And we're looking at like sort of an endurance format, but nothing too strenuous. So maybe a quick short qualifying of 30 minutes maximum, but then maybe a 90-minute or 2-hour race to follow. So it'll all be done by 11, half 11 at the latest, so you can get your head down for the next day. But yeah, just a little bit something different in terms of the endurance racing. So yeah, if you're interested, feel free to drop me a message and get yourself involved.
Yeah, certainly. So if you are into your GTE racing, nice selection of GTE cars on this game. So you've got the 488 GTE, the Ford GT, the what else? The Aston Martin GTE and the Chevy. NGR Dart making a mistake there as well. Comes back on. Avoids any contact there though as well. Ben Sully managed to streamline past in that McLaren. So we're on board with Ben Sully now. And we listen to that almighty roar from this McLaren. Hugging his line as well
how he
there.
deals with the pressure of a bit of close racing going on here. And as we've found quite often, it's easier to chase than it is to lead, I think. Or sort of like, you definitely, your mentality changes almost instantly, where you're maybe a little bit more cautious because you've got a lot more to lose. Whereas if you are chasing, you can seem to find pace where you didn't have it before, and that makes a big difference. But Ben Sully doing well at this moment to keep the car behind at bay.
Yeah, he's holding his line really well. Hugging the apexes there. Making it difficult for this Ferrari to pass. Taking some nice defensive lines through the track. You can just hear in the distance that 488 bearing down on him as he now approaches this humongous straight. And if you know you've got a Ferrari behind you, it's not a straight that you look forward to, in all honesty.
Does it get Carter behind him?
No, NGR Darn in the 488 it is, who's just behind him. Oh, with a very smashed window. And unfortunately, so gentleman driving there. So yeah, gentleman driving. He's not going to take. And in all honesty, if he'd gone past the game, probably would have told him to give the position back. So yeah, in all honesty, it's sometimes best. But yeah, that's one rule that when we're running our next gen leagues is we kind of say, look, if you bump someone off, you know, don't claim the position, just give it them back. Sometimes you can lose some position yourself by slowing down, and other guys will take advantage of what's happened. But you know, that's the punishment for unfortunately taking someone off. That's someone else having a bit of an incident there in the Audi on that first corner. But yeah, NGR Dawn, sometimes, as we said, you know, sometimes better to chase, sometimes it's better to lead, and sometimes when you're chasing, you know, the guy in front brakes a little bit earlier than what you're used to, brake down hard, lock up, and you know those things can happen. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but he's done the right thing. He's obviously slowed and let him past. Just unfortunately, Ben Sully, that'll hinder him catching up to the guys in front. Here we see Tin Man.
Yeah, definitely.
Running out well in first place at the moment, looking like there's no real concern about that place getting took.
Now I think the battle between Amiga and the Les, it still has a bit of a gap there.
Yeah, it looks like there's
the Les is getting on.
Yeah, a bit of a quite a big gap formed between them now there as well. So it looks like every driver sort of putting a bit of distance between him and the car in front. This is one thing that can happen.
Bring a bit of screen time, as I think he went off, as we say, on that first corner, just in front of Tim Mance. So, but he's back on track.
Yeah, you can see Amiga just in the background there as well. So he's trying to close that gap up on Fubby as much as he can. He's got 9 laps left to go, so you know if you need to do something, you really need to think about getting it done now, because it is drawing to the time where you know those gaps of 5 seconds, 6 seconds can feel like 2 minutes. To be honest, it's and you know, with the track rubbering in and stuff, and people able to throw the cars, you know, around the faster corners slightly better now. You know, it does make that challenge of getting in front even harder. See a long line of GT3 cars in the background there as well. So actually there, but you know, Amiga with his lights on, you see the Les behind him. The gap not looking too big, but that, as I think I've said about 100 times tonight, that straight is absolutely huge. So it's quite a deceptive look there. I see a Amiga with his lights blaring down. But yeah, looking like Tin Man's definitely got this race in the bag. So Amiga actually up on his best lap time there.
Yeah.
So he's actually running very well at the moment. You know, we'd like to say who's done the fastest lap, but unfortunately we can't really go off what's on the board on the left of us. So we see on the track a couple of cars bunched up, but sort of front runners coming up to the back markers. Track like this, traffic sometimes doesn't really cause too much of a problem. It's a nice wide track. There's a lot of overtaking opportunities on this Fuji Speedway.
So I've just got a plug, shout out for the karting company that I work for. So if anyone's watching and likes a bit of go-karting, check out Team Sport Karting. They've got 23 tracks across the UK, so there's going to be one near you wherever you are. And yeah, great rates, and they do a lot of events that are tailored to your sort of needs and party sizes. Fortunately, I've got unlimited free karting, so I'll be going down for my first session on Sunday morning. Can't wait for that. But yeah, feel free to check us out, and if you like what you see, get a booking in.
And what website was it again? Sorry, James.
It's www.team-sport.co.uk.
Yeah, so if you are a petrol head, and you know you want to live out some of your Formula One fancies, I think go-karting is the next best thing to, if you can't afford a £5 million race car, it's definitely the next best thing for it. And you know,
well, they are professional karts, so they're not Tonka toys in that respect. 200cc for the adults.
They're not one of the ones you pay £2 to go on at the fair by any means of the word. So yeah, get booked in, get your mates, you know, get your mates together, make a day of it. So here we are back with the race. Amiga still doing well in this Ferrari. He's pushing forward, but again, that gap in front looks like it just could be a little bit too much for him to do anything with it. I think he's going to have to settle for third, but I think he'll be happy with it. I mean, I think he qualified fourth, so he's got a place out of it. And Cage there, just in front of the shot in that NSX.
I'm not too sure if these guys are fighting for position or...
No, so Lee W07, I mean, the next in line after Cage is Amiga, so Lee W07 is one of the back markers, I think, towards the back of the track. I think we worked out it might be about 10th or 11th. Not really too sure on the positioning there as well. Again, if you're watching the stream, we apologise that we're not able to give you definitive answers on who is where. As we've realised, the director mode, unfortunately, is not playing ball, should we speak. So hopefully, you know, patches are coming for the game. Hopefully it will get patched in. And that was a little bit of a lag there, either that or he just flipped his car sideways quicker than the flash.
So have we still got Pro Gav? I'm not sure where exactly he's running. I take it, have we lost Pro Fubby's lad?
We might have lost.
Have we lost Pro Fubby as well?
No, Pro Fubby's still in fourth place, I think. I've got.
Right, I've not got him on my list here.
Maybe
I've got Amiga, Carter, Gav. Sorry about this, guys. It's just to do a rain check on who's in. Springy, Mark. Yeah. Lee, Les, Leo, Tim, man. Yeah, I'm missing. I'm missing the two pro guys.
So we'll have to look into that. Pro Fubby, I think he has had a few connection problems with the game as well. One thing, definitely, if you are watching, and I'd strongly advise that you have a wired connection and quite a fast broadband connection. Fibre is, you know, very advisable on this. If you're not running fibre, you might come up with some server issues. Not just with this game, but you know, with games in general, it's definitely advisable to have, you know, a decent fibre connection on, you know, to have an enjoyable online experience. Tin Man looked like he was a little bit wobbly in the Lamborghini there as well. I mean, he's got really good space between him and Kazakage now, so it's one of them where I think you can just sort of drive around, like almost like Ashley Sutton at the weekend in the Final Race touring cars. They were just like, no point in battling out.
He still had a look though, didn't he, with Ingram? He still had a look and almost made a bit of contact, but I think I'm sure on the team radio they were basically bellowing down to just back off. You've got it won. Don't risk that fourth strike and potential penalty, which could have lost him championship points. But having said that, while he was still halfway round, after Turkington had been forced to retire, the official touring car tweeted congratulations to Ashley Sutton. So I guess if he had got a fourth strike, they would have been in a really sticky position.
I mean, even if he, I mean, the third race, the radio through to him, and they just said, look, Turkington's out, just go out and enjoy it. And he literally did. He was saying that, loads of counter steering going on, so getting plenty of slides going on. So we just see there, Tin Man making his way through the back traffic. So,
just a thank you there, I think.
Yeah, it's NGR Leo Frick in the NSX and NGR Darn in the 488, so both making it easy for him to get past. I mean, credit to Tin Man, it's, it has been a couple of disconnections, but, he's had a good race. He's done what he needs to do from the start of it, really. He's managed to pull away, and he's managed to, to do what is needed to be done.
Just going to see, I think we've got a bit of a battle going on here.
So, Spriggy GMC, I think that may be NJR get a cut now, so that's back marker, so NJR cut marker going through. I think if you try and
difficult. I mean, I'm looking at the track and it looks as if like, oh, that's a battle developing, and then
I think if you try and
they're not.
If you try and find NGR Darn or Leo Frick, NGR Leo Frick, I think those two. So these two, I think these two are having a battle. So we'll just watch the action carry on with these. So 4 laps to go. Well, 3.5. Yeah. 3.5 laps to go, really.
I don't know about you, but it has flown. When you're racing, it seems to go on a lot longer than this, or appears to. But when you're actually watching and commentating it, you forget sort of how quick the sort of time goes.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, one of them, especially when you're driving, and you're in the heat of battle and stuff like that. It's, you can, especially if you're out in front, that clock doesn't half tick down very, very slowly. When you're at the back. Oh my god, it ticks down even slower. You're just like, come on, let's just get to the end.
Misery.
Yeah, but I mean, because we get to see around the action of the track, and we see things going on. It certainly does fly sometimes. So I think
we'll stick with this battle for a little bit as he runs wide. Is that going to allow? Yes, Leo goes through. We'll have the preferential line going into the first corner. And I haven't said that Ferrari again.
Oh, both of them crossing over. Don trying to get the toe on him here. I think Leo Frick thought about maybe going to the left, but then knew corner one, it'd be better to get this line, so move back over. Don's got the outside, so taking a wide entry into the corner. Armin holding his line well, side by side now. Both of them giving each other enough room. Armin, I don't think wanted to, or Leo Frick, sorry, in the NSX didn't really want to get into any scraps, so moved over. I thought, go on.
That was just about enough pressure from Darn to make the move cleanly without it being too aggressive, so he did that well there, in my opinion. And Leo, unfortunately, just struggling coming out of that corner, went wide and got a little bit too much of the curves, slid him down a bit.
Yeah, and some people still got Project Cars One-itis where they're a little bit scared to get side by side with cars in case they just magnetise together. But that's definitely fixed in Project Cars too. So, if if you want to get some sort of like real close rubbing racing going, it is definitely possible in this game. It's just one of them that, are you brave enough to get that close to them? So Tin Man,
So
I think
we're going to go on board for the final lap of what looks like our winner tonight.
it'll be I think it'd take quite an off moment for Tin Man to lose it here. So as he enters his final lap, are you sure this is his final lap?
I could be wrong, but it's going to be this one or the next one, I'm pretty sure.
So we'll stay on board with him in this awesome Lamborghini GT3. So it turns in nice and early.
We were talking at the start about maybe the pace or the lack of pace for the default setup of the Lambo. I certainly felt that it lacked a little bit of pace taking it round Laguna Seca, but I've been proven to be an absolute moron or a bad driver. One of the two or both.
Maybe a bit of both, just a bit of both, lad. Oh, taking a lot of the grass there in the Lamborghini, but I mean, obviously you can afford a.
He could pull up and make a brew, couldn't he? And maybe even
a sarnie.
An omelette. Yeah.
I think he'll be having a bit more than a brew after this race to celebrate.
Oh yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, there's been a couple of disconnections, which has made his job somewhat easier. But I mean, he's still got the car around without any incidents. He looked like he had that little bit of a touch before. There we go. Yeah, looks like his last lap.
Yeah.
So he's just showing off to the crowd.
It's definitely a Lewis Hamilton finish, that. There we go. Well done.
And he slows down to wave to the crowd. And I think we might have Kazakage, who finished in second. I believe that is who is going to grab second place. Yeah. So it looks like Amiga will grab third.
There's Kazakage
passing the line. There's Amiga just in the background flashing his lights. He'll be happy with that. He'll feel like it's been somewhat gifted to him, the last spot on the podium.
Yeah.
And the Les there in fourth place.
All in all, a really entertaining race. Again, just such a shame about the glitch, but I am thankful it's not. Well, I'm thankful that there's time.
There's Sonic the Hedgehog.
Rectified.
Just know it's Sonic the Hedgehog in one of the boards just at the top.
Right. Other video game characters are available.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, it died off a little bit towards the end of the race. Sort of cars become a little bit sort of, gap formed between a lot of them. But hopefully, you've had an entertaining evening. And again, this is just test racing. This isn't league racing, so you'll find that people don't push quite hard. They're choosing cars that they haven't got in. It's non-tuning, so it's just people getting comfy, getting used to the tracks and stuff like that. So these are what these test races are all about. There's certain settings that get used and stuff, so we kind of find what works and what doesn't work. But yeah, we'll on Saturday we have our upcoming events on NXTGEN. So on Saturday we have our Thrustmaster competition, so it's pad users. There's 3 different races. We have a Porsche GT4, and that's around Silverstone National. It's followed by a Formula C race around Brands Hatch, and then there's a McLaren 720S road car around Alton Park. The winner of that event, so they'll rank up points over the race. The winner of the event will win a Thrustmaster T150 and T3PA pedal set. And then the following Saturday is our season 9, which finished about 3 weeks ago. Our season 9 race of winners event. So all the league winners from our project cars and a few runner-up places as well all come into a night of racing. So it's 5 cars, 5 tracks. They'll get an announced shortly in the group as well. So we might do an announcement video and get it up on the YouTube channel as well. So yeah, two more weekends of solid racing on Saturday night. So join in for that, and then sort of throughout the week. So Wednesday nights we normally sort of do GT3 test nights. But like I said, if you have got any ideas and you're not in the group, come over to NXTGEN, let us know on Facebook. You can find us at Twitter as well, so drop us a tweet. But that's it for tonight's GT3 action. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, James, for commentating as well.
No worries.
And we will catch you soon.